Hi, everybody. Why don't you join me in my studio? It is a beautiful Tuesday morning and it's going to be a long day for me, yet I am so thrilled and excited because I'm starting off with you. And I want you to just be peaceful. I wanted to really touch a topic today. Often I get called into organizations to help people, teams grow, to help the culture evolve. And one of the key things I've often got to say is we've got to start with leadership and leadership of self. I mean, often I could say, I could teach you how to have a coaching conversation. I could teach you how to have, um, a planning session. I could teach you how to manage your time. But I cannot give you the gift of leading yourself. You give yourself that gift. Wow, what am I talking about? So imagine with me, we are traveling and we get on the aeroplane and we're getting the safety demonstration. And the safety demonstration says, all right, I would like you to know that in an event of an emergency, I need you to put your face mask on first before you put before you put the mask on other people for oxygen. Now, I think often as leadership, we think I need to know it all, to be it all, to be respected. I need to have control over everything. I need to be in charge. I need to own all the responsibility. I need to. Do you hear that? I need to, I need to, I need to. None of those pieces feel as if they are flow based pieces. They feel really harsh and pushed base. What am I talking about again? Well, I'm going to come back to this. I've made this whole concept of how do we get the best from people, organizations, and ourselves a real study point over the last 10 years. And the one thing I come back to again and again is that leadership starts in you. It starts and ends with you. And if I had to ask you that question today, I suppose the big question I like asking is, what is the imprint you leave on people's lives? Is the imprint you leave on people's lives as a leader one in which they want to evolve as a leader, and one in which they have hope and purpose, and one in which they want to come to you and find out what you can see that they can't see so that they can be better? I tell you, that is the gift of leadership. That is the gift of bringing out the best in others. But it has to always start at home. So, the very first little thought I want to leave with you is you cannot give what you do not have. I want to be really clear about this. If you want to lead an organization forward, and it takes courage and it takes honesty and it takes collecting people and it takes creating a hive mentality and it creates being a high performing leader that creates that vibe that people want to be part of your organization, you cannot give what you do not have. So, what do you need to shift in you? Because we're all growing and evolving every day. So, what do you need to do that you need to shift in you so that you can bring people together collectively to focus on where they've got to go? Years ago, when I started this practice, I had a friend say to me, Christina, you can't give what you don't have. And I was like arrested because at that stage, I wanted to teach leadership versus to walk in leadership. And in order to walk in leadership, I needed to start really shifting a few things in my own thinking. So I've got a next question for you. It is, do you lead who you are? Hoo-hoo. So I want my culture in my organization to be one of courage, honesty, goodness, kindness. I don't want gossiping. I don't want backstabbing. I don't want fear-based behaviors. I really want us to step into courage together and be the best we can. If I'm not leading who I am I actually walking the talk? Am I doing what's needed? Am I displaying what I want to see? Am I doing it from a place of honesty, or am I like putting a show on? Because here's the thing, often when we get called in to coach, support, and to help people be better. But sometimes we get called in because leadership is struggling to have some of the conversations that they can have because they are in a growth journey. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I want to encourage you today that you absolutely need to consider this. Do you lead who you are? Do you show up with grace? Do you work on who you are? Are you constantly looking at how you can evolve to be more, not more successful, but just more of the best parts of who you are? Because that is leadership. Okay. I remember years ago when I took over a team, I was asked to take over a national team, and I was like, ooh, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm going to do this because I've been asked, and I was nervous. But there was one thing that kept shooting through my mind was wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. And now that I've looked into neuroplasticity, how our brain works, survival brain, frontal cortex, I recognize that what I was saying to myself is I need to go into that frontal part where, my learning centers are firing up and where I can see that's wisdom. But that comes from a place of deep peace and acceptance. And often in leadership, we're running, we're challenging, we're pushing, we're not in this moment. Wisdom comes from being peaceful in this moment. So when you are spending time with your people, are you really there with them? Are you curious? Are you connecting with them? Are you wanting to understand? Or is your inner judge showing up and you're thinking about everything they're doing wrong versus just what you see in front of you this very moment? Wisdom allows us to see what we can't see when we are in an anxious or a frantic state. Wisdom is a wonderful gift because it helps you as a leader have gravity. In order to develop wisdom, you need to develop that mental peace or mental fitness to be present right here, right now, to be the best of you, to connect with who they are for this moment, just being what it is. The next one I have, and I just have spoken about the judge, is of course, can you stop judging yourself and start accepting you are doing your best? I tell you, this part has really been a journey for me as a leader, and I can see it in many leaders and many people. Actually, I see it in most people we serve and in my own life, because we have learned to judge ourselves in order to become who we are today in our mind, or become successful, or become someone, or be someone. Do you hear all of that? But we're forgetting that we are someone. And that constant striving and the beating up and the judging that we do to ourselves becomes an external force of judging others, and then becomes a judgment of circumstances and situations. Now, a lot of leaders go, Christina, but of course our job is to pick up challenges. Your job is to have blameless discernment. And I'm using that from some of the work we do with Shazar Chamin. Blameless discernment, which means, I'll give you the definition of blame. It is a discharge of pain and or discomfort. Blame is not accountability. Blame is not leadership. Blame is not love. Blame is not understanding. So I really want you to think about that. Can you unhook the judge that goes off in your voice and beats you up every day so that you can start really leading in a way that brings people together? I like this next part because if I've unhooked the judge, I am curious and I can show curiosity, compassion, and understanding to myself first. Well, how does that work? Well, this is what I've been practicing. So I'll leave this with you out there. If I'm having a moment of angst, or I am playing a story over and over in my mind, or I can feel tension in my body, instead of numbing it or suppressing it or pushing it to the side, because by the way, when we do that, I call it, we start filling the Tupperware cupboard. And when we open it, everything falls out. So when we can't contain it anymore, either our body starts responding from a place of trying to protect itself and we can get really sick, or we start giving it away. So I really want you to think about this as a consideration. I need to show myself curiosity. So as soon as I have that moment of angst, fear, or I want to push into pushing, I need to breathe and stop in that very moment and get curious about, what am I thinking? Why am I responding this way? What does compassion look like? What does curiosity look like? What am I not seeing? And how can I understand myself better? Not beat myself up, to be better. How can I understand myself better? And then I kind of want to end with this: choose to learn how to lead you so that you can lead others from a place of openness, kindness, and grace. Openness, kindness, and grace. I do a lot of work in vulnerability, and understanding how to be open. Being open is a sense of willingness to see and to be seen. Simple as that. To see and to be seen. And I want you to consider this. I need to learn how to lead me so that I can lead others from that very place. If I'm closed in my own heart and I'm not doing any gentle reflection, self compassion, understanding, self love, I will struggle to give that to others. And every time we have an interaction, they will have to be as tough as I am in order to be in my space versus being all of who they are while I am all of who I am so that we can be better together. I will say this to you again and again. It is the only way forward. I've seen the transformation in my life. I've seen the transformation in the leaders' lives that I serve and in the people that are wanting to step into this for themselves. Because the key to our world starts and ends with us. It always does. I want to thank you for spending time with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Remember, leadership always starts in you, in your heart. Don't learn leadership, do leadership. This is Christina Foxwell.